Hi everybody, welcome to today's literacy lesson. Make sure that you've got your pen and your pencil ready so that we can start as soon as possible. As always, we are going to start off with our vocab blast. Let's see if you can remember what these words are. I've still got the pictures and the definitions. You just need to tell me what the word is. So the first one, we've got a picture of lots of eggs, and amongst all of those plain white eggs, there is one golden egg. This word means not found in large numbers. If something isn't found in large numbers, we say that it is, shout it out, rare. Fantastic. Great start, team. Okay, next one. I have got a picture of an elephant, and he has got these things coming out of his mouth, his teeth, a long pointed tooth that sticks out of a closed mouth. What is that called? A long pointed tooth that sticks out of a closed mouth. It's a tusk. Fantastic. Now I've got a pile of lots and lots of shiny gold coins. This word means worth a lot of money. If it's worth a lot of money, we say that it is valuable. Fabulous. Next one. We've got this lady and she is trying to tell these two men something. She's trying to convince them of something. She wants to make them do something or think something. She's trying to what? She's trying to do what to them? She's trying to persuade them. Fantastic. Well done if you got that one right. And the last one. This is a picture of the tusks that have been taken from the elephants. This word is a hard, creamy, white material that makes up a tusk. So it's the thing that tusks are made from. What is that thing called, that material? It's called ivory. Brilliant. Well done. Now that we've run through the words, we are going to sort them. It's a little bit of a different activity today. And I decided to do this because we've got lots of different types of words. So we're going to sort them into which ones are verbs, which ones are adjectives, and which ones are nouns. Now it's up to you how you would like to do this. If you're feeling really confident about what each of these word types are, then you can pause the video and put the words in the right columns on your piece of paper. If you're not feeling as confident, we're going to run through them one at a time and I want you to shout out where they should go. Okay? So a verb is an action word. It's a doing word. So something that you do. An adjective describes a noun. Okay? So it's a describing word. I've not got the other type of describing word on here. So we're just looking for adjectives. So if you think that word describes a noun, then that's where it needs to go. And then we've got nouns. So a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. So the adjective needs to describe a person, a place, or a thing, and that will go there. And these are the nouns. Okay, so a person, a place, or a thing. Let's start with valuable. Valuable. Is valuable an action? Is it something that we do? No. Is valuable a description of a noun? The valuable egg. Egg is the noun. Valuable is the adjective. Fantastic. So valuable needs to go here. Let's look at ivory next. Ivory. Is that an action? Is that something we do? Does it describe something else? Or is it a thing? Or a person? Or a place? Is it a noun? What do you think? Shout it out. It's an adjective and it could also be a noun. So ivory is the material that a tusk is made from, but it's also describing something. So you could say the ivory tusk, as in the tusk was made from ivory. You're describing the colour of it, the way that it looks, the way that it's made. So you could have it in either of those places. Well done if you got that right. I'm going to put it in noun. Persuade. Persuade. Is that something we do? Is it an adjective that describes a noun, or is it a noun? Is it a verb, an adjective, or a noun? Shout it out. It's a verb. If we're persuading something, we are doing something, aren't we? We are trying to persuade someone of something. We are doing something. Let's move on to the next one. We've got tusk. Is tusk something we do? A verb? Is it describing something, an adjective, or is it a person, place, or thing, a noun? Verb, adjective, or noun? It's a noun. It's a thing, isn't it? The tusks are the things that are coming out of an elephant's mouth. It's their teeth. And the last one, rare. Where is rare going to go? Is it something we do? Is it a verb? Does it describe a noun? Is it an adjective? Or is it a person, place, or thing? Is it a noun? Which one? It's an adjective, because we would use that to describe something else. The rare egg, the rare tusk. Fantastic, and well done if you got all of those right. So today we are looking at compound sentences, but what is a compound sentence? A compound sentence joins together two simple sentences. What does it join together? Two simple sentences, well done. And they are joined together with a coordinating conjunction. What do we join them together with? A coordinating conjunction. Fantastic. And that makes a compound sentence. What type of sentence does it make? A compound sentence. Brilliant. So a compound sentence is two simple sentences joined together with a coordinating conjunction. So the two simple sentences need to make sense on their own, but then we join them together to make one longer sentence. Who can remember what some coordinating conjunctions are? We have learnt about these before, so I'm sure that somebody can remember a few of them. If you think you know what any coordinating conjunctions are, write them down on your piece of paper now. Remember, they are joining words, they're conjunctions, so they join two parts of a sentence together. What words do that? Fantastic. So coordinating conjunctions are and. I'll say it, you say it. And. Fantastic. But. But. So. So. Or. Or. And they are all coordinating conjunctions. And, but, so, and or. Now, even though these two bits of the sentence have to make sense by themselves, they also have to make sense together. So I've got pandas eat bamboo. Thumbs up if you think, yes, that is a sentence, it makes sense. Fantastic. London is in England. Is that a sentence? Does it make sense? Fabulous. So they both make sense. But do these make sense together? Pandas eat bamboo. London is in England. Do they have anything in common? Are they talking about the same things? Yes or no? No, they aren't talking about the same things. This one's telling us about pandas, and this one is telling me about London. They don't have anything to do with each other. It wouldn't make sense to put those sentences together. Pandas eat bamboo and London is in England. They're just random. They don't make sense together. So what could we have that would make sense? Let's start with pandas eat bamboo. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to write me a sentence that would match pandas eat bamboo. So what else do we maybe know about pandas? What else do we know about bamboo? What could we say to join these two sentences together? What could our other sentence be? Write a sentence down, something to do with pandas, something to do with bamboo. What could it be? A sentence that we could link to this sentence. Write it down. Okay, maybe you came up with something like this. This is a sentence I thought of. They have sharp teeth. So pandas eat bamboo, pandas have sharp teeth. We can put them together. But how do we put them together? We can't just choose one of our coordinating conjunctions and hope it's okay. We have to pick one that makes sense. If I put or in here, let's read this sentence. Pandas eat bamboo, or they have sharp teeth. Well, that's a fact about a panda. We know they have sharp teeth, and we know that they eat bamboo. So why would we say or? We're not saying they've got this or they've got something else. They need those sharp teeth to eat the bamboo. So it can't be or. Pandas eat bamboo, so they have sharp teeth. Well, that doesn't make sense either, because we know that pandas have sharp teeth. We know that they eat bamboo. They don't have sharp teeth because they eat bamboo. They have sharp teeth so that they can eat the bamboo. What about but? Pandas eat bamboo, but they have sharp teeth. I've said it lots already, and I'm going to say it again. We know that they have sharp teeth. We know that they eat bamboo. They need sharp teeth to eat the bamboo. So if we say but, we're going to say something different. We might say pandas eat bamboo, but they don't eat chocolate cake, because it's something completely different. So we go for and instead. Pandas eat bamboo and they have sharp teeth. Perfect. I really like how that sentence sounds now. The last thing I have to do is put a comma, because when we make a compound sentence, we get rid of this full stop and we put a comma instead. Let's read this sentence together with our Kung Fu punctuation. Are you ready with your capital letter? Pandas eat bamboo and they have sharp teeth. Bang. Make sure I've got a good full stop at the end there, because you can't really see it. Okay, same again. On your piece of paper, write me a sentence that has something to do with London being in England. So London is in England. What else do we know about London? What else do we know about England? What could we say that would make sense with this sentence to make a compound sentence? I am sure you've all come up with some fantastic ideas. This is the sentence I came up with. England is in Europe. So that's something else that I know about England. They link together. Okay, so we've got London is in England and England is in Europe. These sentences have something to do with each other. But what word can I put in the middle? What coordinating conjunction could I use? London is in England, England is in Europe. You shout out, which one do you think I should use? Should I use and? Should I use but? Should I use so? Or should I use or? London is in England, England is in Europe. I'm going to use and again. Fantastic. London is in England and England is in Europe. And I can't forget my comma. Brilliant. Well done, year two. Okay. Now, we're going to do it a little bit differently today. This is the activity for the 3-star challenge. But before I just say, right, get on with it, go and enjoy and do it, we're going to do a few together to make sure that we're really, really happy with how to do this. Okay? Fantastic. So we have an orange word and then we have a green word, just like we did on the last slide. Our orange words are always going to go first. They're going to be our first sentence. Our green words are going to be our second sentence, and then we're going to join them together. So I'm going to choose an orange sentence and I'm going to pick this one. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing. Now I need to choose a green sentence that has something to do with this sentence. So something to do with the polar bear's habitat. So we're going to try some different ones and we're going to read them and see if they make sense. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing. It is harder for them to find food. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing. They are calm and gentle. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing. The ice is melting. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing. They are an endangered species. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing. Orangutans are losing their habitat. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing. Poachers are killing elephants for ivory. Which one do you think makes the most sense? Well, now that I've read them through, I can start to ask myself questions to decide whether or not it does make sense. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing. They are calm and gentle. Well, what has calm and gentle got to do with the polar bear's habitat disappearing? It's not got anything to do with that, so I'm not going to use that sentence. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing. It is harder for them to find food. Now, this one I think probably does make sense, because if the polar bear's habitat is disappearing, then they're not going to be able to find food, are they? Because they've not got that habitat anymore. They've not got places to look to find food. So I think I'm going to stick with these two parts of the sentence. Now what do I do? The polar bear's habitat is disappearing, but it is harder for them to find food. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing, so it is harder for them to find food. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing, and it is harder for them to find food. Which one do you think fits this sentence the best? You decide. Shout out, but, so, or and. Which one did you think sounded best? I'm going to read them all again, and I want you to shout it out. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing, but it is harder for them to find food. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing, so it is harder for them to find food. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing, and it is harder for them to find food. Which one do you think? It's so. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing, so it is harder for them to find food. Just like I've talked about, if the polar bear's habitat is disappearing, how are they going to be able to find food? That's the question that we're thinking, which is why I use so. The polar bear's habitat is disappearing, so it's harder for them to find food. They've not got their habitat, they can't find the food, and that's why we use so. But what am I missing? I'm missing a comma. Fantastic. So the next thing that I would need to do is I'd get my pencil and I would write this sentence. Okay, I've written my sentence. Are you happy with it? No, what have I forgotten to do? I've forgotten my capital letter and I've forgotten my full stop. And now I have my sentence. And that is what this activity is going to be. But I know that this is really tricky, so we're going to do a few more together. Okay? Are we ready for another one? Fantastic. So we're going to choose another orange word first. I'm going to go for this orange sentence. The planet is getting hotter. Would this make sense now? The planet is getting hotter. It is harder for them to find food. No, it wouldn't make sense. First of all, who is the them we are talking about? If we're talking about the planet getting hotter, who is the them? That doesn't make sense. The planet is getting hotter. They are calm and gentle. Who is they? It's these questions you need to ask yourself whilst you're doing this activity. If it doesn't make sense, put it back, try a different one. The planet is getting hotter. The ice is melting. Ooh, I like this one. Why do you think these two might link together? It's getting hotter The ice is melting. What do we know about ice? Tell somebody in the room what happens when ice gets hotter. It melts. So the planet is getting hotter, the ice is melting. Are we going to say the planet is getting hotter, but the ice is melting? The planet is getting hotter, so the ice is melting? Or the planet is getting hotter and the ice is melting? We're going to say, so, just like the last one, this is another cause and effect. So this is the cause, the planet is getting hotter, and the effect of the planet getting hotter is that the ice is melting. But you could also have and for this one. The planet is getting hotter and the ice is melting. But I think that so sounds better, so I'm going to choose that one. But it's your decision when you're doing this. You choose a word, a sentence, choose another sentence, and then decide how to link them together. Now we've done a couple of these together now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my top tips for how to complete this activity. The first thing that I would do is I would match up all of the sentences. So find all of your orange ones and line them up on the left-hand side. And then find all of your green ones. And I want you to put your green ones next to the orange ones and decide, does it make sense? You can put them in any order and then read them to yourselves or ask an adult to help you. Does this sentence make sense? People are cutting down forests to build farms. The ice is melting. Have they got anything to do with each other? No. So we wouldn't put them together. So that's what I would say to do first. Find all the orange words and match them with the green. Find all the orange sentences and match them with the green sentences. So which ones do you think match together? Which ones would make sense together? After you've done that, choose a coordinating conjunction. Put it in the middle of your sentence. Read your sentence again. Does it make sense? If it doesn't, maybe try swapping your coordinating conjunction. And don't forget your comma. When you think you've written down a sentence that makes sense, I want you to write that sentence out. Or you can glue them next to each other if you can print them off. Okay, so that is our 3-star challenge. Now, if you're thinking that is really tricky, I want something a little bit easier, I've got the same activity, but with communicate in print and smaller sentences. So I could start with, elephants are big. That's my orange sentence. Elephants are big. Their skin is black. Elephants are big. They have tusks. Elephants are big. The ice is melting. Elephants are big. They are being chopped down. Elephants are big. Now they are extinct. Which one do you think matches with elephants are big? I'm going to choose they have tusks because I know that elephants have got tusks, and this sentence talks about elephants, so they match. They've got something in common. And now the next thing I need to do is, just like on the last activity, I choose a coordinating conjunction to put in the middle. And I can't forget my comma. You can stick these next to each other and write the conjunction in the middle and write your comma on, your capital letter and your full stop, or you can write that sentence out underneath your 2 pictures. And that is the 2-star challenge. And last of all, the 1-star challenge. The 1-star challenge is already sorted into sentences that match each other. So elephants are big, they have tusks. Just like we talked about on the last slide, they already match together. The only thing you need to do is decide which coordinating conjunction to use and where to put your comma. Elephants are big and they have tusks. Does it make sense? Read the sentence, check it makes sense, ask an adult to read the sentence to help you if you're not sure. If it makes sense, then you are on the right track. You're doing a really good job, okay? And that is the 1-star challenge. All of the challenges are on the school website. just as they always are. Try your best with this activity. I know it's really tricky at first, but we're going to do lots more practice of it, okay? So don't worry if you're finding it hard. We're just trying it at first. And we're going to do some more work on it later. Okay? We really look forward to seeing all of the wonderful work that you are going to be sending in to the class emails. Thank you very much, everybody. See you tomorrow.